We have the best players in the world. We have the best fans in the world. But right now, we have the worst leadership in the world.
The moment Napheesa Collier stepped to the microphone, the WNBA world shifted. What was meant to be a calm, end-of-season press moment turned nuclear. Collier unleashed a blistering critique of the league's leadership, calling it the worst in the world. That's not hyperbole. That's war. She didn't just voice frustration. She made names. She recalled conversations. She ripped the veil off power dynamics that many suspected, but few dared to expose.
Napheesa Collier has basically kind of gone scorched earth when it comes to the WNBA. Like, this is absolutely wild. We are going to talk about how the WNBA leadership has been exposed for everyone to see.
And the shockwave? It didn't stop at Minnesota. Across the league, stars rallied. The Queen's fallen crown had cracked, and the entire court stood in solidarity. This video will walk you through why Collier's indictment isn't just drama. It might be a reckoning. We'll dissect the statements, reactions, and implications, and show you how this moment could reshape the future of the WNBA. But first, before the heat,
since Lynx star Napheesa Collier's pointed comments about league leadership, including recounting a conversation she had with Commissioner Cathy Engelbert, where Napheesa said, quote, she was asked how she planned to fix the fact that players like Caitlin, Angel, and Paige are clearly driving massive revenue for the league and are making so little for their first 4 years.
Before the backlash, how did we get here? And why is it that one woman speaking truth might be scarier to some than any on-court opponent? Call to action, CTA. If you're here for transparency, for shakeups, and for voices that demand more than hollow PR, hit like and subscribe, because things are shifting and you'll want a front row seat.
Some big question marks we have, some big takeaways, the WNBA's response, because they are in crisis mode. Remember, guys, the WNBA semifinals, Game 5, is tonight. And the story is what Cathy Engelbert did and did not say to Napheesa Collier. That's the story. That is the story, because yes.
To understand just how explosive Napheesa Collier's press conference was, you need the backdrop. Collier isn't just another star forward for the Minnesota Lynx. She's a two-time Olympic gold medalist, an MVP runner-up in 2025, and, most importantly, vice president of the WNBPA, the Players Union. When she speaks, she isn't just talking as an athlete. She's speaking as a representative of the locker room, the bus rides, and the broken ankles. Her breaking point? A devastating injury. Just last week, Collier tore multiple ankle ligaments in the final game of the season. But what really lit the fire wasn't just the pain of injury, it was the league's response.
Today, I have prepared a statement that I would like to make before taking any questions. All right, so first of all, I'd like to congratulate the Mercury for advancing to the finals. And I want to be clear, this conversation is not about winning or losing. It's about something much bigger. The real threat to our league isn't money. It isn't ratings, or even missed calls, or even physical play. It's the lack of accountability from the league office.
Or, more accurately, its lack of one. Instead of hearing directly from Commissioner Cathy Engelbert, Collier says she received a dismissive message from Engelbert's deputy, downplaying player concerns about excessive physicality and officiating that many argue is putting careers at risk.
Whether the league cares about the health of the players is one thing, but to also not care about the product we put on the floor is truly self-sabotage. Year after year, the only thing that remains consistent is the lack of accountability from our leaders. Sorry, I had to walk here in my boot. I'm kind of out of breath. The league has a buzzword that they've rolled out as talking points for the CBA as to why they can't pay the players what we're worth.
So, what exactly did she say? And how did the players respond in a show of solidarity that feels like the start of something bigger? When Collier grabbed the mic, it wasn't vague frustration. It was surgical. She laid out her grievances step by step, and every word cut through the carefully polished PR shield the WNBA has worn for years. First, the injury crisis. Collier said the league is ignoring how brutal the game has become, with reckless officiating allowing excessive physicality that sidelines stars and robs fans of their best players. Her own torn ankle ligaments were Exhibit A, and when she raised those concerns to Engelbert, according to Collier, the commissioner's answer was cold. Physical play isn't contributing to injuries.
That word is sustainability. But what's truly unsustainable is keeping a good product on the floor while allowing officials to lose control of games. Fans see it every night. Coaches, both winning and losing, point it out every night in pregame and postgame media. Yet leadership just issues fines and looks the other way.
Second, the pay dispute. Collier pressed Engelbert about why rookies like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and Paige Bueckers, who are driving millions in ticket sales and TV ratings, are stuck earning under $80,000 a year. Engelbert's alleged reply: Clark should be grateful for making millions off the court because without the WNBA platform, she wouldn't make anything. That line? It's spread like wildfire online, and not in a good way.
Her response was, well, only the losers complain about the refs. I also asked how she planned to fix the fact that players like Caitlin, Angel, and Paige, who are clearly driving massive revenue for the league, are making so little for their first 4 years. Her response was, Caitlin should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything.
And third, the ultimate insult. Collier said Engelbert told players they should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the league's new media rights deal, worth about $200 million annually. To many players, that sounded less like leadership and more like a reminder of who holds the power. The fallout? Immediate. A'ja Wilson, Angel Reese, and Paige Bueckers all jumped in with public support. Reese called Collier's statement 10 out of 10, no notes. Bueckers posted Queen Fee. And Wilson? She didn't hold back, calling the commissioner's alleged comments disgusting. This wasn't just solidarity, it was a rallying cry. But here's the real question. What happens when solidarity collides with the commissioner's office? The press conference lit the match, but the players' reactions turned it into a firestorm. For years, criticism of Commissioner Cathy Engelbert was whispered in private, buried under the league's steady growth narrative. But now, the whispers are shouts. The league's own stars are drawing a line in the sand.
That's a mentality driving our league from the top. We go to battle every day to protect a shield that doesn't value us. The league believes it succeeds despite its players, not because of them. I have the privilege of watching my husband run a league where he has to balance 100 different things at once. I won't pretend the job is easy, but even with all of that on his plate, he always takes the time to reach out to players when he sees an injury.
Yet behind that shiny success story, players say they're still scraping the bottom, earning salaries that don't even touch six figures in their first years, while risking career-threatening injuries on a nightly basis. That's where the cracks show. Collier didn't just point at Engelbert's dismissive words, she revealed the mindset behind them. The message players heard was simple: you're lucky to be here. But to athletes who are literally carrying the league's momentum, that's not gratitude, that's disrespect. And that's why the calls for Engelbert's resignation are growing louder. Not just from random fans online, but from the league's own MVPs. A'ja Wilson said she was disgusted. Angel Reese rallied behind Collier with no hesitation. Paige Bueckers crowned her Queen Fee. These aren't fringe voices. These are the faces of the WNBA. Engelbert, for her part, tried damage control, saying she was disheartened by Collier's remarks, but reaffirming her commitment to players. The problem? That sounded like the same careful PR tone Collier was calling out in the first place. Now the tension is crystal clear. One side wants reform, accountability, and respect. The other side wants to protect the narrative of growth and stability. Something has to give, and soon, because this isn't just a disagreement, it's a showdown. To really understand the magnitude of Collier's mic drop moment, you need to see the battlefield behind the scenes. The Collective Bargaining Agreement, or CBA. The current deal expires at the end of this month. That means every word Collier said wasn't just frustration, it was leverage, a warning shot, a declaration of war in the middle of contract talks. Here's what the players want: higher salaries. Right now, the league's salary cap for an entire team is just over $1.5 million. To put that in perspective, that's less than what a single NBA role player earns in a year. Stars like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are pulling historic TV ratings and sold-out arenas, yet Clark's base salary for 2025 is only $78,066. Compare that to her $16 million in endorsements, and you see the problem. The WNBA profits from her fame, but doesn't pay her like the draw she is.
I've finally grown tired. For too long, I have tried to have these conversations in private, but it's clear there is no intention of accepting there's a problem. The league has made it clear it isn't about innovation, it isn't about collaboration, it's about control and power. I've earned this platform and I've paid the price to get here, and now I have a responsibility to speak on behalf of the fans and everyone in this league that deserves better. Our leadership's answer to being held accountable is to suppress everyone's voices by handing out fines.
Collier's personal story. An MVP caliber season ended by injury, a cold shoulder from the commissioner, and years of quiet behind-the-scenes advocacy ignored is what made this moment boil over. This isn't just about money, it's about respect. And when players don't feel valued, at the very moment they're making the league billions, the cracks in the foundation start to look like fault lines. This isn't just about Napheesa Collier versus Cathy Engelbert. This is about the identity of the WNBA at the exact moment it stands on the edge of transformation. The league is finally mainstream. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, A'ja Wilson, Paige Bueckers, these names are selling out arenas, driving TV deals, and making sponsors line up. The WNBA is hotter than it's ever been. But here's the catch. The league's growth story and the player reality don't match. On one side, executives boast about billion-dollar valuations and historic ratings. On the other side, players are flying commercial, juggling off-season jobs, and fighting to earn salaries that barely crack six figures. That contradiction is no longer a quiet complaint. It's center stage thanks to Collier's statement, and the timing couldn't be more dangerous for the league. With the CBA expiring, this level of public player revolt raises the possibility of something the WNBA has rarely faced: a work stoppage. Imagine a season where the league's brightest stars refuse to suit up until leadership changes. Imagine arenas packed with fans chanting not for a team, but for reform. Culturally, this battle also sets the WNBA apart. Unlike many professional leagues, where players keep conflicts behind closed doors, WNBA stars are some of the most outspoken athletes in the world. From politics to pay equity, they've never been afraid to challenge authority. And Collier? She just turned that defiance into a movement. If Engelbert survives this, she'll be remembered as a commissioner who weathered the storm. But if she doesn't, this could mark the beginning of a new era, where player power, not executive spin, defines the future of the WNBA. The league is growing, but the question is, will it grow with the players or in spite of them? Here's the truth. You can ignore one voice, you can dismiss one star, but when the league's brightest lights come together, that's not a complaint. That's a movement. And movements reshape leagues. They topple leaders, they rewrite contracts, they shift power from the boardroom back to the court. So what happens now? Does Engelbert weather the storm with careful PR lines and hope the noise dies down? Or does the players' union, emboldened by this viral surge of support, push harder than ever in the CBA fight? We're on the edge of answers, but one thing is clear: nothing goes back to normal after this. This is no longer about one player's injury. This is about whether the WNBA becomes the league of the future, built with its players, or stays stuck in the past, built on their backs. And if you're ready to follow every twist of this drama, do not miss a beat. Hit like, drop a comment with your take, and subscribe, because this showdown, it's only just beginning.